Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So good afternoon to all of you. Let me start. And today I will discuss some problems related with non-homogeneous linear partial differential equation. Actually, methods for finding PI has already discussed for exponential function, sine cosine function, and if suppose f of x y like as suppose x power m, y power m, and so on. They are all there are these three methods which help us to find PI. Okay, and today I will want to discuss some problems which are combination of suppose trigonometric function and exponential function. Okay, here see the example number 35. Okay, now see this problem here. Problem is this one d cube minus 7 d dash square minus 6 d dash cube bracket of z equals to sine of x plus twice y plus e to the power twice x plus y. Here see that f of xy is what? Tell me f of xy is what?
Sin X
Yeah, Indramanit.
is both.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. It is.
it is sine of x plus twice y, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus e to the power twice x plus y, and see that these are addition of two functions. Okay, we are discuss about in the previous example we have solved for like as a sine function. Suppose f of xy are given in the form of sine function or cosine function, isn't it? And similarly, we have discussed for exponential function like as e power thrice x plus y. Okay, these type of examples are already discussed. And now see that this one is what sine of x plus twice y plus e power twice x plus y. Okay, and for this problem also method for finding CF is same. Okay, and method for finding CF is what? First you have to write the auxiliary equation. Okay, and tell me what is the auxiliary equation for this problem?
M cube minus 7m minus 6.
Yeah, m cube minus 7 and m minus 6. Okay, here because I repeat it because here d is what? D is m, we consider d is m and d dash is what? 1. So auxiliary equation is what? M cube minus 7m minus 6 equals to 0. Now can you factorize this equation? Can you factorize? I think in one class I have solved such type of equation. Okay, first you have to try for m equals to 1. Okay, put the value m equals to 1, then it gives what? If we put m equals to 1, then it is what?
Not equal to 0, ma'am.
Not equals to 0. So we can start with m
1.
equals to minus 1, isn't it?
1. Yes, ma'am.
If we start like as m equals to minus 1, then it will be what?
0, ma'am.
0. So m equals to minus 1 satisfies this equation. So m equals to minus 1 is a solution, is a root of this equation. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we have to divide this term by m plus 1. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Because m equals to, when we put m equals to minus 1, then it gives 0. So m plus 1 is a solution of this equation. Okay, so we divide this term by m plus 1 and try to divide this term by m plus 1. If we divide this term by m plus 1, then what you get? M cube minus 7m minus 6. So are you get the quadratic equation? If we divide this expression by m plus 1, then quadratic form is what? Have you get the form? Indramani, Avinash, Tamon, have you got the quadratic form? Just divide this term by m plus 1. Okay, then write it. It will be m plus 1 into m square plus m minus 6. Okay, quadratic form is what? M square plus m minus 6. M square plus m minus 6. Okay, have you got the form?
Ma'am.
Yeah, Indramani, reply.
Yes, ma'am. I got m square plus m minus 6.
Yeah, it is m square plus m minus 6. Now, can we factorize this term?
Yes, ma'am.
It will be what? Again, if we factorize this one, m square plus m minus 6, it will be what?
M square plus 3m minus 2m minus 6, ma'am.
Yeah, so finally we get m plus 2 into m minus 3. Is
3.
that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Finally we get m plus 2 into m minus 3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So, required root will be what? Root of this equation will be what? For m plus 1. Value of m will be what? Minus 1. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And for m plus 2, it will be what? It will be minus 2. And for the last term is
2,
what?
ma'am.
M minus 3. So it gives m equals to what?
3.
3. Okay? Is it clear? So see here, m is what? M is minus 1, minus 2 and 3. Is that it? Now see that these three roots are distinct. Okay? These three roots are distinct. So can you tell me the complementary function?
Ma'am,
Yeah, can you tell me the complementary function?
f1 y minus x plus f2 y minus 2x plus f3 y minus y plus
Y
3x, ma'am.
plus thrice x, because complementary function will be what? F1 y plus m1x plus f2 y plus m2x plus f3 y plus m3x. Here m are what? Minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Just put the value of m. Okay, in replace of m1, m2 and m3, then we get the CF. Okay, so CF is what? F1 y minus x plus F2 y minus twice x plus F3 y plus thrice. Okay, is it clear?
Ma'am.
So in the next step, we have to find Pi. Okay, and Pi is what? 1 by f comma d into f of x square. Is not it? Here, f of d comma d dash. Here, f of d comma d dash is what?
It's d cube minus 7d.
Yeah,
D
d cube minus 7 d dash square minus 6 d dash cube. Okay, and here see that f of xy is what? Sine of x plus y plus e of twice x plus y, e power twice x plus y. Okay, next step, just this one, separate these two functions with this term. Separate both the term. So it gives us 1 by d cube minus 7 d dash square minus 6 d dash cube into sine of uh, x plus twice y, and 1 by d cube minus 7 d dash square minus 6 d dash cube into e to the power twice x plus y. These are nothing else. In this step we just separate these two functions. Okay, is there any doubt? Is there
no,
any
ma'am.
doubt?
Ma'am, can
So
you zoom it little more, ma'am?
this
Because
one,
later on it's
this
yes,
one,
ma'am.
this one is nothing else. It is 1 by f of d comma d dash into sine of x plus twice y. And in the next one, this one is same as 1 by f comma f of d comma d dash into e power twice x plus y. Just we separate this one,
Okay,
separate
ma'am.
these two functions. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see this one. This is of the form what? Here sine of x plus twice y, and next one is what? E to the power twice x plus y. Now we can use the method for finding particular integral for cosine function and exponential function. Okay, because both are separate. Okay, and for sine function, this one will be what? We put the value of d square and d dash square. Okay, and d dash also. Just here see that d cube. We just put the value for d square. So here see the first term. First term is what? D cube. Okay, so we write d cube like as d square into d. Isn't it? Is it clear? And second one is what? 7 d dash square. And the last one is minus 6 d dash square into d dash. Because we have to put the value for d square and d dash square and d dash. Okay, not for d cube like as no, d dash square. We cannot put the value for that one, d cube, d dash square. Okay, so we have to write this value, that is d cube d dash cube, in the form of d square d dash square and d dash. Okay, because we have to put the value only for d square d dash square and d dash. Okay, so in this step we just write the value d cube in terms of d square. So we write d cube like as d square into d. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see that, but here in the exponential function, in the exponential function we can directly put the value for d and d dash. So in this for the second part, it's not necessary to break the term, because for exponential function we can directly put the value of d and d dash. But in case of sine and cosine function, you have to put the value for d square, d dash square and d dash. Okay, remember this one. But in case of exponential function, you can directly put the value for d and d dash. Okay, so in the second part we directly put the value of d and d dash, but in the first one we we write d cube like as d square into d, because we cannot put the value of d directly for sine and cosine function. Okay, now tell me d square is what? D square is what? Minus a square, isn't it?
Yes,
D
ma'am.
square is what? Minus a square, and d dash square is what? Minus b square, and d dash is what? Minus a into b. Okay, and here see that a is what?
A is x, ma'am. 1.
Oh no, it is 1, it is not x, because ax,
Okay, ma'am.
okay, because in the method it is given as sign of ax plus by. So for this one, a is what?
1, ma'am.
A is 1, and b?
2.
B is 2. Okay, a is 1 and b is 2. Okay, so d square will be what? Minus a square. D square will be minus a square, so it is what? Minus 1. And d dash square is what? Minus twice, sorry, minus b square. So here b is, because here b is 2, so it is minus 2 square. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so see this one. Put the value of d square and d dash square in this part. So it will be give as minus d, because d square is minus 1, so it comes as minus d, and minus 7d. D dash square will be what? Minus 4, and minus 6. D dash square will be what? Minus 4, and d dash is comes as like this one. Okay, is it clear? And for the second part, it will be, we can directly put the value of a and b. For the second part, tell me a is what?
2, ma'am.
A is 2 and b is?
1, ma'am.
B is 1. So you can directly put the value of a and b in place of d and d dash. Okay, so d will be what? D will be 2 and d dash will be what? 1, because here a is 2 and b is 1. Okay, so finally we get like that one, 27d plus 24d dash into this one, and half of e to the power twice x plus y. Okay, now see that this one is d plus d dash, and the function is what? Sine of x plus y square. Okay, now tell me, can we put the value of d and d dash in this part? Second part is complete, and here first part is left. And now tell me, can we directly put the value of d and d dash for first part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me, can you directly put the value of d and d dash for the first part?
Yes, ma'am.
How it is possible? Tell me.
Ma'am, not directly, ma'am.
Yeah, directly we cannot put, because function is what? Sine of x plus y. If suppose it is e power x plus y, then it's possible, because for e power ax plus by, we directly put the value of d and d dash like as a and b. Okay, is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
But if the function is of in the form of sine or cosine function, you cannot directly put the value of d and d dash. You have to put the value only for d square and d dash square and d dash. Remember this one. Okay, I think
Yes, ma'am.
you are clear this concept,
Yes, ma'am.
because this one is d and d dash and function is of the form sine, so we can directly put the value for d and d dash. So we can multiply by d. If we multiply with d, then we get 9d square and 8d d dash. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, d square will be what?
One, ma'am.
D square is
Minus
what?
one.
Minus
Minus one.
minus 1, because d square is minus 1 square and it will be minus 1. And d dash. D dash will be what? A into minus a into b. Okay. Here a is what? A is 1 and b is 2. So it will be what? 2, and it is minus ab. So it gives us minus 2. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It will be 9 into minus 1 plus 8 into minus 2. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So see the next step. Next step is what? 1 by 75 d into sine of x plus twice y. D means what? D indicates what? Can you tell me D? D indicates what?
A.
No, D is what?
M.
Differentiation.
Then it
Differentiation, ma'am.
represent what? Differentiation or integration?
Differentiation, ma'am.
Differentiation with respect to x. Okay, and D dash is what? D dash is also differentiation with respect to y. Partial differentiation, actually it is partial differentiation with respect to y. Capital D indicates partial differentiation with respect to x. And capital D dash is what? Partial differentiation with respect to y. But we put d equals to m and d dash equals to 1 when we write the auxiliary equation. Don't confuse between that concept. Okay? Usually D indicates what? Differentiation. Well, actually partial differentiation with respect to x, and D dash is what? Partial differentiation with respect to y. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And so D of sine of x plus y will be what?
Cos x plus 2y, ma'am.
Yeah, cos x plus 2y, because here see that sin x will be what? Cos x, and if we differentiate x plus twice y term, it gives us what? 1, because this one is not only sin x, this is sin of x plus twice y. First you have to differentiate for this function. Sin of x gives us what? Cos of twice x plus twice y, and next you have to differentiate this term also, x plus twice y. If we differentiate x plus twice y, it will be what? That means differentiation of x will be what? 1, because we partially differentiate with respect to x, so y can be treated as constant, so each terms will be what? 0. So it is sorry, not 0, twice y will be so it only gives the for x part it is 1, and for twice y part it will be 0. So ultimately we get the required value is cos of x plus twice. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
So here conclusion of this problem is what? If we are given suppose the sum of two functions, trigonometric or exponential function, your aim is to what? You have to separate both the function, because there
Functions.
is no formula for the combination of sine and exponential function. We have formula only for sine function, cosine function, exponential function, and for suppose binomial, suppose binomial term x power ym, y power m. Okay. So if we are given f of xy, Suppose if we are given f of xy like as sum of two functions, your main purpose is to what? You have to separate both of that function. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So take another problem, then tell me what we do for that type of function. See that this one. Example number 38. Here's see the equation. Is it homogeneous or non-homogeneous?
Non-homogeneous, ma'am.
Yeah, it is homogeneous. So tell me how can we find the particular integral for this type of function? First, you have to find CF.
CF and PI, ma'am.
Yeah. How can we find the PI? Because these are given. See the f of xy. F of xy is what? Tell me f of xy is what?
Exponential function.
Yeah. Twice e to the power twice x plus thrice x square y. Okay. Is there any formula for this type of function?
Yes, ma'am.
No, sum of these functions. See that. Twice e to the power twice x plus thrice x square y. So, like in the previous example, first you have to separate both of them. Okay, I give some hints and you try to solve that problem. Write the problem.
Okay.
Del cube z divided by del x cube minus twice del cube z divided by del x square del y equals to twice e to the power twice x plus thrice x square y. Are you write the problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I think all of you can find the CF. For CF, first find the auxiliary equation. Can you tell me the auxiliary equation?
M cube minus 2m equals to 0, ma'am.
2m square.
2m
Because this one is what? Del x square.
cube.
See properly.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Del x square. So it comes as m square. Okay? So I think all of you can easily find the CF. Okay? And for the particular integral part, find this one will be what? 1 by d cube minus twice d square d dash into f of xy is what? Twice e to the power twice x plus thrice x square y. Okay? Like as the previous example, first separate both of them. So it gives us what? 1 by this one. See this one. Pi is what? 1 by d cube minus twice d square d dash into twice e to the power twice x plus thrice x square I. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So, in the first step, you have to separate both of them. So, it will be comes as what? 1 by d cube minus twice d square d dash into 2 into e to the power twice x plus 1 by d cube minus twice d square d dash into 3 x square y. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So see the first part. Now see the first part. First part is what? This is the exponential function. Here a is what?
A is 2, ma'am.
A is 2 and b is
1.
b ax plus by. Form is this one,
A
ax e to the power ax plus by. Here a is 2 is correct. Now can you tell me b is what?
0.
B is 0. Yeah, B is 0. So it will be what? For the exponential function, you cannot you can directly put the value of A and B. So it will be what? 2q. Is that it? And for
Yes.
D dash is what? B. So it will be what? 0. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the next step, in the second part, it is like as x power m, y power m. And yesterday I have discussed some problems in the form of x power m and y power m. Okay? And use the same technique and try to solve to find pi for that part. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And try to solve it and after that submit it. Submit in the group. Okay, I will say that. And I request all of you to try to solve the problem. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So for the first part, I say the answer. It will be 1 by 8 into 2 into e to the power twice x. So it will be comes as 1 by 4 e to the power twice x. For the first part, it is 1 by 4 e to the power twice x. And in the second part, try to find the PA. The second part is of the form x power m, y power m. Okay? Because you have to separate both of them. Because there is no formula for that type of function. So, formula are given for exponential function. So, trigonometric function and so on. So, we have to separate both functions. Okay? So,
Okay, ma'am.
for today, I stop and give you attendance through the group.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you.